The Patriots have signed another defensive player in NFL free agency just when you think maybe they'll start addressing the lack of offensive line that we have. Boom, they sign a linebacker. Jack Gibbens is the latest signee on a one-year deal. However, we do not have the contract details at the moment we are recording this video, but ultimately, this just feels like a Mike Vrabel bringing a piece from his past and bulking up the depth chart, which I don't personally mind. I think that it's a good strategy. We didn't have a coach last year that had previous experience to bring in that networking, to bring in former players. So I like that Mike Vrabel is taking a little piece of Tennessee and putting them in New England. The 6'3", 242-pound linebacker is pretty young. He's 26 years old. So thankfully, we are getting a little bit younger here in that linebacker core, but you're not really getting a starter, in my opinion. Now we have to wait on some Jawan Bentley injuries. Maybe Christian Ellis is going to go to another team. So he could fight for a starting opportunity, but with 44 tackles, half a sack, 2 tackles for loss, maybe he can start to play a little bit behind a guy like Bentley or Robert Spillane heading into this next season. And I have more details to share with you guys here about Jack Gibbens, but right off the bat, I'm just going to go ahead and have your opinion. A, B, C, D, or F? What grade do you give the recent signing of Gibbens, another linebacker? And the Patriots have not been shy about signing defensive guys. So how do you feel about this one? Personally, when I saw that Jack Gibbens was taking a visit with the Patriots today, I knew the signing was going to happen today. It was a no-brainer. Why? Because the Tennessee Titans did not end up extending him. They did not keep him around. And once they did end up waiving him, I knew that Mike Vrabel was going to try and get a guy that he respects and he likes his athleticism. And what you should know about Gibbens and why he could possibly be a good fit for the Patriots moving forward is that last year was the first year Gibbens had played in the NFL without Mike Vrabel. You know who else did that? Harold Landry. And we're very ecstatic about having Harold Landry now in our depth piece as well. However, he did suffer a season-ending ankle injury, so maybe that's why the market for him was so slim. And once again, you're not really looking for a starter out of him. If he becomes one, great, but another depth piece is perfectly fine. So he's going to have to try and rehab and come back stronger than ever, but that's what OTAs and training camp is for, so I'm very excited to see what he does provide. But the number one strength that he will give the Patriots is his run defense. And I think when you pair that with Robert Spillane, who was one of the best run-defending linebackers in the league. Same thing with Harold Landry, has a great run defense, and the Patriots should be on their way back to a top 10 defense. His PFF rankings are 82.3 overall. His pass rush really isn't bad. I like the 65, actually. And then when you're sitting at about an 80 run defense, he overall just seems like a good, stout linebacker. And for the Patriots, to add another player like this, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. They're completely rebranding. You can't tell me differently. They're adding Carlton Davis with Christian Gonzalez. They're adding in Marcus Epps for the safety room. They're adding in a bunch of different linebackers, even tweaking the defensive line. But with a guy like Gibbens, I put him in the linebacker depth chart here just to see his skill set next to our other guys. But you will more than likely see Jawan Bentley at your middle linebacker or Jelani Tavai. So don't really look at him as a starter. But overall, we're picking up 2 Tennessee Titans who had the best defense overall last year and adding them to our linebacker room in Landry and in Gibbens. Then you pick up Robert Spillane, who was the leading tackler for the Raiders last year. You plug and play Anthony Jennings, Jawan Bentley, Jelani Tavai, who I'm not 100% sure where Tavai and Bentley's positions do stand moving forward, but I think that Gibbens fits the mold. Whatever Vrabel's trying to create on defense, it's working. It is in full motion, and I'm very excited to see how this plays out. I've even brought up that maybe the Patriots, now having Keon White and Harold Landry, can start to even move to a 4-3 front rather than a 3-4, which is what they ran last year, especially when you're adding more interior depth on that linebacker room with guys like Gibbens and Spillane and Tavai. So it's going to be interesting to see how Vrabel's mold comes out in fruition and what it's really going to look like. And he wanted to add Gibbens to this piece. Because back in 2022, when he was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, He's looking at this undrafted linebacker and he sees potential. In fact, he gave him a nickname. I know you are not giving any of your friends nicknames unless they are your best friends and they're in your lives forever. Dr. Gibby is smart. He's picked up on the defense extremely well. He's going to be fun to watch playing in the preseason opener. He gets everybody lined up. He knows exactly what to do. He can help other guys. He's always around the football. That's kind of what we saw last year watching film at Minnesota. So you're getting a hard-nosed football guy. Kind of reminds me of the Spillane, the Mac Hollins type of player that Vrabel's trying to bring in. And this is no secret. We knew this was coming. In his press conference, he said, I want good men, good leaders, and then I want good football players. And that's what Jack Gibbens seems to be. And in full transparency, I haven't watched a ton of highlights on Jack Gibbens. I'll be through and through. But I do know that if there is a ceiling for him to reach, Vrabel is going to help him get there. And paired up with Landry, Spillane, Tavai, and the new defensive coordinator, Terrell Williams, I think Gibbens could be a pretty good backup or depth piece for the Patriots moving forward. A one-word reaction to Gibbens signing. Let me know in the comment section down below. Mine's going to be a hyphenated word, no-brainer. That's my word. Sometimes there are two. I don't know. Go on ahead and comment yours in the comment section down below. We know the Patriots have signed about 8 defensive players now, about 5 offensive guys. So they are still slowly adding to the offense, but overall, Vrabel's message here has been bulk up the defense and prevent teams from scoring. And when you do look at the offensive side, they haven't completely neglected it. Yeah, they signed Mac Hollins, who's not really a wide receiver one. They did give you a starting right tackle with Morgan Moses. They're trying to pair up the interior with a guy like Wes Schweitzer, even though I don't think this is really going to push the needle for me. And then, of course, they come back and they try and get a guy like Garrett Bradbury, and it's a success because Minnesota waived him on Monday, and they released David Andrews on Friday. So this was a good move for the Patriots to start focusing on right tackle, right guard, center. But now we're still waiting on that left guard and left tackle, which if this signing means anything, it means the Patriots aren't done. So just keep in mind, even though it is another defensive depth guy, the offense is right around the corner. And if the Patriots do make a move, we make a video right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. So if you guys haven't already, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me, and go Patriots.